What's up, everybody? True Boxing here, and thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the What's Next on Sergio Garcia, the super welterweight contender at 154 pounds, following his very tough 10-round unanimous decision loss to Tony Harrison, the former world champion. He went in there and really got, and you know, for all intents and purposes, got his ass whipped over 10 rounds. Tony Harrison completely outboxed him and outclassed him. It wasn't even close. And that was the second consecutive loss for Sergio Garcia. But what keeps him in the top 10 is the performance that he had against Sebastian Fundora just back in December. That was a very good performance that he had against him. It was a close fight. He lost a unanimous decision, but it was a good, hard-fought battle. And Fundora is moving on to bigger things now after his knockout of Erickson Lubin. But it makes you wonder what the hell's going on at 154, because yeah, Tony Harrison, that came in last year after a year and I don't know, maybe year and a half off, close to that range, he goes and takes on Bryant Perella and fights to a draw. So most people chalk that up as Harrison overlooking Perella. But then you had, going into this fight, I thought Sergio Garcia was going to whip Tony Harrison's ass. He hadn't fought since then. Harrison's getting a little older, and Tony Harrison completely dominates Sergio Garcia. So with Sergio Garcia overlooking Tony Harrison, it's just, it's one of those things. 154 is really up in the air. I think Garcia still deserves to be a top 10 guy because of his performance against Fundora, but he's definitely towards the back of the top 10. So the big question now is what's next for Sergio Garcia following that loss. And to be honest, he talked about retirement, that if he were to lose another fight, he talked about retirement because I guess where he's from, he has a lot going on outside of boxing. So that is definitely a possibility now. I hope not, though. I hope he gives it one more run, because he's still somewhat young. He was untested before Fundora. Now he's been thrown in against two top 10 guys. He's come up short, but he fought really hard against one of them. And the other one, against Tony Harrison, you're kind of not sure if that was really him or not. Maybe he was overlooking Harrison. So why not give it one more run and see what he's got and go from there? So running through the top 10, not sure if he gets a top 10 guy next, but just because he didn't get knocked out and beat down, he just lost convincingly. I'm going to run through the top 10 and see what possibly could be next for him following the loss. So we start with number 1, Jermell Charlo. Well, that's not going to happen. Charlo's fighting Castaño next for the undisputed title. The winner is going to move on to a, they're either going to move on and move up in weight, or they're going to fight somebody else in their, in a bigger fight. Sergio Garcia is too far down for the winner of that fight to happen. So that goes for number 2. Or tied for number 1, Brian Castaño. Same thing with him. Then we got Erickson Lubin. He was number 3. He's no longer going to be number 3. Highly doubt he comes back against a guy like Garcia. He really took a beating against Sebastian Fundora, so I really don't see Lubin fighting him. Then you got Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu, the undefeated WBO number 1 ranked contender. He's going to be fighting for a title next. Sergio Garcia is not going to be in that mix, so not happening. Terrell Gausha. This one I think is possible. Both these guys coming off of losses, convincing decision losses. And I could see, since they're both PBC guys, I could see Garcia and Gausha going at it. I'm going to lean towards the less likely because I think they're both kind of gatekeeper mode now. But hey, what would be the problem with two gatekeepers fighting each other? I think the fight is possible and could happen. Sebastian Fundora. Fundora's got that win. He's not going to rematch Sergio Garcia. He's in line for a world title. He's actually the interim champion, and if the WBC champion between Charlo and Castaño after their undisputed title fight, if whoever the winner is doesn't fight him, he's getting upgraded to full champ. A rematch with with Garcia would make no sense. Then you have Magomed Kurbanov. Kurbanov's positioning himself to fight for the WBO belt. He's not going to fight him. Liam Smith, he fights for Matchroom and Eddie Hearn in DAZN. I'm not seeing that one. And then Patrick Teixeira, a Golden Boy guy, not seeing that one. And Tony Harrison now is part of the top 10. So I don't see Sergio Garcia getting a top 10 guy. I think Terrell Gaucher would be the most likely. But I really hope he comes back and at least stays busy, takes a tune-up guy late in the year, shakes off the back-to-back losses by getting a win, and pushes forward towards a big fight. Because I really think Garcia is a fun guy, an exciting guy to watch, and I still think he's got some life, and he should make one last run of it before he decides to hang him up. But we'll see what happens. That's what's next on 154-pound contender Sergio Garcia, following that tough one-sided unanimous decision loss to Tony Harrison on August 9th on Showtime. I hope you guys enjoyed it. True Boxing, you've been hit with the truth.